Gentlemen, we're live, WrestleRoni Live, Town Hall Fan Forum. We've already got folks in the chat. I'm being joined by the owner of RSW, Hip Toss Tim Cross. We got the letter buyer, Dakota Stier. What's up, fellas?
How long did it take you to think of the hip toss joke?
I mean, it rhymes. You know, it didn't take too long. You'd be proud of me, boss.
Good.
The letter buyer, Dakota Stier, is amazing.
Thank you. I'm glad you like it.
It rhymes. It's good stuff.
I try to make shit at least rhyme. It doesn't have to make sense, but it rhymes, you know. We already got folks in the chat. We already got questions coming in. We have plenty to discuss, gentlemen. Before we start getting into these fan questions and suggestions, complaints, etc., I'll start with you, Tim. You got anything you want to put out there into the ether?
No.
Fair enough. Okay. Dakota.
I'm here for questions.
All right. Well, Dakota's the talk of the town. I'm sure he's going to have some questions. You feeling good, Dakota?
I feel great, buddy. I feel
Anybody with a coat like that on?
No doubt.
It'd feel amazing.
What
like $1 million.
Well,
absolutely.
All I'm saying, dude's got to have some money, all the stuff he's been doing the past few weeks. Let's check these questions. Let's see what we got coming in. Just in case. Here we sit waiting on this loser to show up. I appreciate you, Case.
Oh, hey.
Watch
how we throw around that word, sir.
What did I say?
You said loser.
He said, and he even spelled it Louser. Real cute. Real cute.
Right.
T-Bone's in the chat. Appreciate you, brother. Uh-oh. James Simpson is in the chat. Let's see what we got. So we running a hard 6:30 or we running on Tim Cross time? I'm the one that delayed it by about 2 minutes. That's on me.
Yeah, I've been trying to run a tight ship. It's just sometimes people are still coming through the door and that'd be rude to start.
Yeah, Tim Cross runs a tight ship. Let's brag on ourselves a little bit. On the last podcast, I said RSW is a well-oiled machine. Tim, how proud are you of the current crew you got right now, if I can talk?
I mean, honestly, for everything we were able to pull off, I couldn't be more proud. From the ring crew to the roster to the production crew. Right now, pretty solid. You know, we're also all learning at the same time as well. So, in that sense, you know, it's getting better, and it'll grow as we go. But you know, what we've built so far, I think we're pretty solid and tight in what we have.
Yeah, what a crew. What are you seeing, Dakota? What are you seeing on show days?
Everybody has a common goal, and that's to put on the best show possible. It's just that simple. And from the ring crew, guys like Jeremy Jones, his family putting in the work, the trainees that all chip in, to production crew, people like Stevie G, you know, making it happen no matter what. Everybody, top to bottom, all the guys, they all kill it. They all do a great job, and they all have a common goal. They want it to be the best that it can be. And I think we're doing a pretty good job at that.
Stevie G did a hell of a job with the entranceway. So good, in fact, he even managed to get a compliment out of Shane Kryzak, of all people. That jerk was even impressed.
Wow.
Props to Steve. And
you get props from Shane Kryzak. I mean, you know.
You're doing something right.
Saying something.
And you know what? While we're on the subject, fellas, starting with Tim, how good is Shane Kryzak, bro?
He is the most underrated talent in West Virginia when it comes to time put in. Okay. I don't know why. I don't know what it is, but, you know, people just, you know, seem to skip over him when it comes to people that are the best in West Virginia. Now, don't get me wrong, the people that they're saying, you know, opinions are opinions, and they're allowed to say what they want to say. But a lot of people sleep on him, and I just don't think that it's just not fair to him. I think he's put in the time, and he should have the praise that he deserves, because there's not a person you put him in a match with and they don't come out of it, um, you know, respecting who he is.
No doubt, no doubt. I'll tell you what. Yesterday, I think it was either yesterday or day before, somebody from the UK went through every Shane Kryzak match on the channel and was putting him over and talking about this match and talking about that match. So he's catching on, I'll say, at least
Oh
to the
yeah,
YouTube audience.
hell yeah.
Hell yeah. And you was talking about best in the state. That made me think. I made a post yesterday just to see who folks were saying was the best 3 wrestlers in the state. I don't know if you guys saw this, but I'll throw some names at y'all and we'll see what we got, because nobody's putting anything in the chat. We do have Stevie G in there. We do have something in the chat. So we'll get back to that. Let's see what we got here. High class wrestling, folks. So, I think this one's going to go to Dakota. So what's the new WVWE going to be? An RSW offshoot? Will it be its own roster or vibe? And also, Kryzak is top tier. So we do have a smart one in the chat. Dakota, what's the plan, man?
I'll start with the last part first.
Okay.
Shane Kryzak, personally, to me, is the best in the state right now. And I mean that with no disrespect to anybody else. Shane's my guy. There's just nobody putting in what he's doing, and that's my opinion, and I mean that with love to all the other guys. Simply put, I don't know. We're still workshopping everything. This was a lot of research and a lot of planning for something that came together in a few days, and we're still figuring it out. My wonderful wife, who is in the other room, I have no idea what she's doing, but we've been planning this out every single night since then and reviewing ideas and everything else. But we don't know. We have no idea yet.
What an amazing woman.
She's
What?
the best, dude. She is the absolute best. I will put that woman over every chance I get. She's the greatest. I'm telling you. And she makes the best cookies you'll ever eat. I promise. Um,
Yes.
we don't know yet, though. We don't know, and we'll figure it out. And as we get info, we'll get it out there for sure. I'm a person that likes to do things that are different, original. So as far as like an RSW offshoot, if we could do something different, great. If not, that is what it is. This is all new to me. We're still figuring this out. As you introduced me, I am just the letter buyer, still in the moment, and we'll figure it out as we go. But I'm excited. It's gonna be an exciting time for sure.
Now, surely you wouldn't be dumb enough to call it something like Mountain Mama Wrestling or something, right? No, but I mean,
Probably not.
that's a
Probably
dumb
not.
idea. That's stupid to me to even say. Why would I say that? That's That's
Yeah.
stupid.
You know what's stupid is
What?
if you would keep the same letters and then just be West Virginia Wrestling Federation.
That'd be dumb as hell.
Man,
Hey,
that
by
would
the
be. You
hey,
know
by
what'd be
the
really
way,
stupid is to not pay your taxes again.
Or, you know, it's even dumber than that. Let's say you're a kid with a dream, you want to do it, and somebody says, I will pay for your training so you don't get hurt or hurt somebody else. I'll pay for a month of training. And nobody takes you up on it. That'd be stupid.
and this is the part that I don't think people understood. Um, I, I didn't care if it was one facility that these guys went to, um, and I didn't care what that month cost. I wanted them to get better. That's the whole point of this. People, if you are in wrestling, you want to get better. Tim said it a few days ago. Why should we not all do
Anymore,
that?
if they have the ability to go play every 2 weeks, why would they get better?
Yeah.
I
It
mean,
shows.
I'll be a little, I'll expose a little bit, pull the curtain back a little bit. One of their own even said none of the damn kids there listen, so why should he even talk? Well, if they're not going to listen to you and you're the vet for that company, why are you still there, or why are they still there? Why are you still letting the monkeys run the zoo?
You got a mole too? I got a mole.
I don't have a mole, just people
I got a
with.
lot.
I got one of my own.
Stier,
I,
Stier.
I got idiots across the board.
Well, we knew that.
You've got idiots in
There's
different
there's
areas
oh,
of life.
but there's always somebody exposing something somewhere.
Ain't that the truth? Hey guys, the chat's filling up. Stevie G's in here. He wanted to know why you looked so nervous when you heard he was in the chat. Also, putting over Kryzak and saying the cookies were good. But to answer Stevie G's question, why'd you get nervous when you heard Stevie G was in the chat?
Who?
Stevie
Yeah,
G, that's directed at you, Tim.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Why did I get nervous? Oh, because it's Stevie G. That
It's fair. It's really fair.
that's a dumb question. In fact, he knows why. Stevie G. Stevie G is the combination of Charlie Day and Van Wilder.
Makes sense. Yeah, you hit the nail on the head.
He's just a good time in a pocket, man. You know, if you ever need your spirits lifted, you just pull him out, and it's just he's like, hey, what's going on? Let's hang out. Let's do this. You know, he's just he's one of those good guys to have around. And man, he is honestly one of those guys that just wants to see his friends succeed and do as good as they can. And that's what he is for us. He's that extra hand. He's the run guy. If we need something done, he's the guy. He gets it done. And like you said, he's the entrance put together guy. He's on stage crew. He's
Jack of all
ready.
trades.
He's the head of stage crew, I guess.
And I got to give it to Stevie G. Of course, Tim, you were the one, that invited me into RSW. But first day on the road with y'all, Stevie G made me feel like one of you guys. Was super cool to me from day one. Everybody loves Stevie G. Tyler Jacks is in the chat. What do you think about Tyler Jacks, fellas? Tim, we'll start with you.
A great representation of young talent in West Virginia. He came from my family wrestling line, so with a trainer of Jason Kincaid. I think we all know Jason in some way, shape, or form at this point. If you're from West Virginia in this business, so you know the work he's done, and you know how good of a teacher he is. So. I feel like Jax is someone that people need to be watching around here, and he's actually somebody that wants to get out of here too. He's not just fine with settling around here. He's got a good foundation, and he's ready to start getting on the road more, I think.
Hell yeah. Can't wait to see it. Dakota, what are you seeing out of him?
First off, congratulations on the title win recently.
Yeah.
Very cool. If I could pick 5 guys that I would say, even now as a champion, that I could pick to be the future of wrestling in the state, I think Tyler Jacks would definitely be on that list. He's an excellent worker. The crowd reacts every time, and overall, he's just a good guy.
No doubt.
Sorry if that surprises people, but he's one of my favorite people to watch for sure.
Oh man,
he's also one of those guys you can actually give your constructive criticism to, and he actually accepts it instead of getting upset about it. So I commend him on that as well.
No doubt. A lot more mature than some, I guess. So. Hell yeah, good on you, man. Man, I tell you what, the chat is just filling up. I can't even keep up with all of it. Britt says that Tyler Jackson's a great wrestler, has an awesome entrance song, and I gotta agree because it's the one song that has Spooky Lou's voice in the intro. Best song on the indies right now. You can't beat it.
Oh, shut up, Lou.
Come on, man. Come on.
You gotta say.
How much you put yourself over more?
Say, I do feel that a lot of people miss out on understanding, getting custom music in a way. Not so much everybody, but there's times when people should go out there and spend some time and try to get that custom music because it just is better for them in the long run. In fact, that you can even put, a lot of people don't realize it, but they put out a theme song on YouTube, and they go play it. If they're playing it all the time, you let people know it's there. You can get a bunch of views on your just alone on your YouTube on that.
Right on. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just for a custom theme, you're exactly right. Fun fact from Brittany, I did not know that was your voice, Spooky. Well, I'm one of the many voices in there. Yeah, let's talk about me more, guys. I mean, did you guys hear the last podcast? I kind of let folks know I'm tired of your bullshit. Yours too, Tim. I'm tired of it. You're always so mean to me.
I'm not mean to you.
Fair enough.
I just don't. I'm not here to listen to your bullcrap, bro.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah. Hey, we're all here for feedback this evening. So
I'm more impressed that he kept that PG.
No doubt.
He said,
well, I mean, he did hit us with the thing of like, no cussing. So I'm gonna try to follow that rule. If I get a little overboard, it might come out, but I'm gonna try to keep it pretty PG all night. Also, Jack Clark, is Billy Knox ever coming back? I don't think there's a point in answering that question because why would I tell you if he was? Because that would ruin the surprise.
Good point.
I appreciate your interest, and has there been conversations with Billy Knox? Who knows? Again, why would I tell you? That would ruin the surprise. Do you get to tell Vince McMahon or Triple H those kind of things? No, you don't. So I appreciate you watching, and I enjoy the situation, but I'm not going to tell you if someone's coming back or not. Moving right along. Yes, I appreciate everything that I see in the chat about Tyler Knox because that kid, last but not least, is very respectful. So I got to give the kid props for that. But at the same time, that's because of where he's from.
Right on. And for folks wanting to know about Billy, I see Billy at least once a week. Billy's never been better. He's doing great. He's in great shape. He's looking great. So Billy's going to be just fine. I promise you that. Let me see what we got on here. Bring me back on the podcast, and I'll cuss every 36 seconds. Now, I told y'all you can cuss, but let's just try to get a minute or two into it. I'm trying to stay monetized is my deal. So
I'm just trying to get too obnoxious.
Well, if you heard me on the last podcast, I don't know how that thing's monetized. God bless you, YouTube. I kind of let loose on that one, but that's okay. James is back in here. Can't use the. Go ahead.
Now I'm gonna have to go watch it after this.
I watched it live. Well, as it premiered.
Of course you did. I appreciate you.
I've got to put these shows together. You put out as many podcasts as I do shows in this area.
We're entertaining West Virginia. We're entertaining the world, by God. Putting smiles on faces.
But yeah, so I'm going to have to go watch that one after this.
Oh, man. I did my best to stir up some shit for you, Tim. I promise you.
Hey, I'm like a plunger, bro. I want to get this shit moving.
Well, let's get it moving, man. Where's everybody at? We have the usual crew in the chat and getting a lot of great feedback and everything. What do y'all want to see out of RSW? What do you want to see out of the channel? Put it in the chat. Let us know. Dakota, we haven't heard a lot from you. What's going on in your life nowadays, man? What's going on? What are you thinking? What's on your mind?
Okay. While they're putting stuff in the chat and getting their own questions, I feel like now's probably a good time to explain why I have been the talk of the town and the letter buyer, Dakota Stier. Do you like that? That was good. This is lined up straight. So, as most people know, I acquired the legal rights to use West Virginia Wrestling Entertainment, aka WVWE. The reason for that is pretty simple, and I think it's one that a lot of people can get behind. We want wrestling in West Virginia to become better, and we cannot get to that point if we are not doing things properly and safely. Not just for your back pocket, not just for the government and the tax man. As somebody that's been audited twice by the IRS, Obviously, that's pretty important. However, you need to do things safely. You need to do things legally. You need to do things the right way. The right way is subjective to a lot of people, but unfortunately, it's not something that can be debated. There are rules, there are laws, and that's kind of what you need to take care of. This purchase was made solely for that reason. That business had not been running legally for a number of years. Um, I'll give you this as a reference. I'm the first person to do what I did in the specific way that I did. There have been others that have done it overall, but the way that I went through it was a lot different. And the Secretary of State was very willing to give me that acquisition because they understand and they are in that common ground with us that they want things to go right. The opportunity presented itself. We jumped at it, and within 3 days, we had the information and we had everything done. The reasons why are simple as well. Nobody there, in my opinion, has been properly trained. I could give you a montage of clips of people landing directly on their head, and everything under the sun. We've all three of us have seen these videos. I have not been quiet in sharing those, and somebody is going to get severely injured, crippled, paralyzed, killed, as a result of that lack of training. In addition to that, the ring has a few hazards in it. I don't know if you've noticed, but the only thing holding most of those posts up is a big old ratchet strap. And
Yeah.
God forbid something happens to where that strap breaks, all those posts go flying out. It's not a big building. You've seen it. You've been to it. We've all been there. That's asking for a lawsuit. That's asking for a kid to get injured. People that are paying you to come see what you have to offer, and you're putting them at risk and the people there at risk for no money, might I add. And that really, quite frankly, just that grinds my gears that people are out here risking their lives in the name of exposure. It's a business, and if I pay you to do something,
You get out of here.
do it. And if I don't pay you, don't do it. It's that simple.
Makes sense to me. And I'm glad Bounty Hunter Tim Keith joined us here because Justin Case is in the chat. I hope the batteries don't die with this secondhand hack. Tim, you saw the podcast with Case. You saw this falling out, man. I haven't talked to you since. What do we do with this idiot? Or am I in the wrong? Should I respect my veterans? And I don't know, Tim. What do we do? What do I do?
100% watch your damn mouth. You don't talk to Case like that.
Oh, I do now.
Living legend.
Show that man respect as an elder in general.
Well, yeah, he is old. You're right on that.
You should have had your batteries charged, sir.
They were, and he talked so much that I went through 2 batteries.
Also, can argue that.
Okay, fair enough.
We like to talk. I mean, it's unfortunately how it is. But yes, everybody, it's a sweet ass poncho from Arizona. Sorry to just jump in there in the middle of what I'm saying, but yes, it is a sweet poncho, and it makes me look cool. It is the man version of the moo-moo. Suck it. First crotch chop of the night.
There you go. Hey, High Class Wrestling wants to see more tag teams for the Unappreciated to destroy. Who do you bring in for the Unappreciated to destroy next?
Well, there's been some oddly enough, there's been some scheduled opponents, and they seem to just get a little too scared and don't want to come in.
Bitched out?
Well, I don't want to say that. They just haven't been able to get it in here. But as of right now, I think that they have just been pretty dominant. I think there's some promising new tag teams getting ready to build up in this area. So I think that while they have been very dominant as of so far, there is some new competition that will be coming their way.
I dig it. Britt says somebody's the sole reason dinosaurs went extinct. Who? Oh, and Britt wants more female wrestlers. I think you're acquiring some nice female talent. If we did get any
Yeah,
more, go ahead.
if I can give a little insight, we have um, uh, females coming back on the 15th and the 29th for sure. Colby Max will be in. Sin will be back. Very impressive match with between them and Grafton. So the rematch there, June 15th, will be great. Sin is signed for July 29th, and so is some other talent later to be announced this month for June 29th in Stonewood. There's so much going on right now. It's hard for me to remember exactly everything everywhere, but as much as I can pass on, I will. But yeah, for sure, I do agree that there needs to be more female presence from time to time. So they'll be there.
I like it.
So they'll be there for the fans of female wrestling.
No doubt. Heck yeah, I dig it. Well, I tell you what, we did a little bit of downing of a certain promotion and how they do things. Let me ask you both this. What promotion do we see in West Virginia right now that's doing it right? That we're impressed by what they're doing? Dakota, I'll start with you.
Tim, I'll start with you.
Okay.
Boy. I do like concepts of a lot of different places, and are a lot of different places doing what I would do? No, of course not. But at the same time, they're not doing anything bad. You've got ASW in the lower part of the state. They have great crowds. They use great talent on their shows locally. Um, you've got Derek down in Charleston
Conquest.
with Conquest, of course. You know, you catch a good one from time to time from Mega and Marmet. Um, you know, they've seemed to get they seem to got a different situation in management, and they've been getting improving immensely over the past couple months. So you know, good on them. You know, obviously, a situation like this, you're gonna miss out and say somebody that somebody feels that they should be said in the situation. So you know, before it gets too far into it, there's a lot of different places doing good things in this state, honestly. And you know, and it's good in a way because you know there's not a lot of people that really like to spend money on the show and travel and get merch, you know. So the fact that there's good wrestling from somebody within an hour and a half, an hour to an hour and a half of everybody, you know, that's not a bad thing.
Good. Dakota, what would you like to add?
So you took the first two that you named were the two that I was thinking. I think ASW and Gary and those guys all do a great job. Um, and I'm excited to see what they do this weekend. Um, Pro Wrestling Conquest, another fantastic one as well. Um, I enjoy watching VCW as well because a lot of the guys that I'm familiar with go through there. Uh, it's same thing with PWL. We bring in some of those guys occasionally as well for shows that we do. So I like watching what those guys do and keep up to date on their progress and see just how good they're actually becoming and how much time they're putting in. And it's those guys they're definitely hungry to get better.
Hell yeah. Me, I think VCW fell off, but that's just me. Let's see what Justin Case has to say here. On a serious note, I stand with Tim and Dakota to clean up the West Virginia scene and put an end to crappy wrestling one shindy at a time. Fellas?
See, you may not be the biggest fan of this man, but that doesn't mean this man isn't very smart.
Oh, I'll give him
You know,
that.
he he just wants the same as everywhere else. There's no reason why there can't be good wrestling across the state, and it doesn't mean that one company needs to be the one to do it. But at the same time, being 14 years in, I do feel that it has to become more of a a family sense, and we need to police ourselves from anybody coming in and running. I mean, and that be from a company from PA because they can't follow the rules in PA, so they come into West Virginia, or any surrounding state in general that has a commission that comes here because, oh well, it's just easier. The good ones need to um, basically police themselves. We can work together to make sure there's not more, because the last thing we need is another company doing the same thing. That's using their friends and this, that, and the other, and then they're bringing in good talent from time to time. But all that basically does is take away good talent from good actual companies running, and that could be putting on good matches type basic situation when it comes to that. So I just feel like there needs to be a lot more, hey, let's keep what we have instead of, there's no point in everybody getting to do all this different stuff. It's crazy to me.
Right on.
But that's me. Everybody that doesn't get their voice heard for some reason feels that well, they can just go do their own thing, and that's just not how it is. I mean, it's so much bigger than you think it is. That's why there's been so many, basically.
All right, let's play devil's advocate. What do you say to the critics that say, what gives us the right? What gives Tim Cross, Dakota, and I get on here and run my mouth, and I shoot the shit. So what gives us the right to say this?
It gives anybody the right to say anything. It's just depending on the people that take your word as weight. To the people that I deal with and have worked with and respect, they respect me in the same way that I respect them, and to me that means more than anything else. So if you don't like what I have to say, it doesn't matter. You can go somewhere else. That's just how it is. The people that I want to care about my opinion do care, and that's basically all that I can work for to 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 do. So basically, it doesn't really bother me. And anybody that has a problem, they know how to get in touch with me at this point in some way, shape, or form.
No doubt. Sheldon, Monster GG, we appreciate you both joining us. They're both putting you over, Tim, so props to you. Dakota, what do you have to add to Tim's point there?
When wrestling is done right, everybody wins. If you've noticed, anything that I have said has not been directed specifically at people's talents. It's not been directed at how they run a show. This is all, my care is legal. It's the legality of the situation and the safety. You got to at least have one of the two. If you're going to be dumb, at least have the proper legal stuff to take care of yourself.
Just 1 second when it comes to that, because with what he's saying there, in the sense, so the other crowd doesn't get it. Basically, if one of you idiots drop another one of you idiots on their head and that person gets hurt or dies, it hurts all of the companies in West Virginia. And where you're at, it hurts people in Ohio. So that's why we don't want it to happen. It's not just acquiring some letters that he got. It's the bigger picture of, if you're going to do it at the rate that your guys are doing it, you need to be legal and have all of your cards in line, because you're going to do something and hurt someone real bad, period.
Yep.
Yeah, and if I can add to that, everybody thinks that I just swept the rug out from under all of these guys and didn't offer them any help, that left them high and dry, figure it out. I offered to help with all of the paperwork involved in these guys at least getting legal. Because let's be honest, none of us thought that they were going to be done. We knew better. We've been through this a few times. However, I offered to help make sure these guys were legal, that they had their stuff in order, because if something like that happens, that's going to fall right back on everybody else. And good companies like RSW and the others all suffer because of that. I don't want to hurt the reputation of West Virginia wrestling because somebody in Parkersburg doesn't know how to do their job.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It doesn't help us, and it's not like, oh, they were a rival. Let's be honest. You want to compare numbers? I've got them. I promise. That's not a rival when you've got 32 people at a show and we got 130 at the same time. There's a reason for that. It's because we put in the work, we put in the effort, we make sure that our people are trained properly, we make sure that they know what to do. And guess what? 6 years in, almost seven, if not more, I think the work speaks for itself. And there's a reason it's been around and it's only grown. It's not hit a dip and then plateaued. It's only grown, and there's a reason for that.
Yeah. To expand on that. Here's the thing. That company had been in that area for just as long as we have in any area, and they're only pulling 23 people, man. Like,
Yeah.
there was a time a couple years ago where I was like getting to the point to where I was like, I got to be serious with myself, and is this really worth it anymore? Because basically we had kind of ran out of areas, and the fans weren't coming. It was like right after COVID, we had started back up, and it wasn't working out. But it was kind of eye-opening, and we made some changes, and it has honestly been nothing but up from there. I mean, are we out here killing every show? No, but at the same time, show-wise with the roster that we have, yes, but crowd-wise, no, because there's always something going on with somebody nowadays. There's always a baseball game or a soccer game or a fair or a pageant or a this, that, and the other. You're always contending against something nowadays. So that's why, honestly, in my mind, you kind of try to do as much as you possibly can to get as many fans on your product as possible.
Exactly right. And Stevie G's exactly right. Most of the 23 were the workers' moms, family, friends. You're exactly right. They did. And we can crunch numbers all day and compare numbers. Let's compare quality. Let's compare our opening match to their opening match, or any match against our.
That's where, for me though. I mean, that's where it lays and dies, and that's why and I meant that earlier. It's like, yeah, I mean, there's some other companies doing great things, and they're selling out shows, and well, not selling out shows, but selling really good attendance, and but at the same time, when I look at their card, it's like I don't get it. It is what it is. I'm not here to, slap on anybody's jawbone, but I just don't think that they put as much effort into it as other places.
Right. And another point, I've posted this all over socials the past few days. God bless you both. You've shared it. And every time I shared it, here's your chance. Come at us. We're right here. And you know what? As of right now, ain't nobody coming at us. It's all pretty good so far. I mean, we've had a couple questions about this and that, but here's their opportunity. So we've talked about them enough. Screw them. We know where they're at. We know where we're at. What can we look forward to in RSW this summer? Because it's going to be a crazy summer. What we got lying ahead?
I think we talked a little bit. I think we talked a little bit about it on here so far. There will be more females around. There will be more female wrestling. Look for a new women's title this summer.
Ooh.
Also, I'll announce it now. We will be crowning the RSW Eastern Continental champion June 29th in Stonewood, West Virginia.
Ooh.
one of the contenders in the match for that title is O'Shea Edwards.
Uh-oh.
So O'Shea Edwards will be joining us June 29th in Stonewood, West Virginia. Um, um, just improvement all the way around. The way things look, the ring, the experience as a whole. Things will just slowly improve. Entryways will get better, and there'll be more on production, and it's just we're just here to keep growing. There's not a situation where we are, we're happy. There is no happy in a situation like this. You can be content for a minute, but if you're really there to be the best you can be, you're ever moving. Um, so that's how I feel about that. Honestly, we've got more dates coming in Buchanan. We've got more dates coming in Stonewood for the rest of the year. We're back in Monongah, the 4th of July. We have 2 shows. The train's going, and we're hitting some new fairs. So yeah, the train's going 100 miles an hour right now, and while it is hectic to keep up with and in order, I couldn't be happier. But I guess I could let Dakota there talk about Parkersburg area wrestling.
And Dakota, before you get to that point, a very important message in the chat. Probably the best one of the night. Cameramans do good jobs at local wrestling shows, and I do want to point that out, that we do have a great roaming cameraman, does awesome, phenomenal work editing. As a matter of fact, we should just dedicate the rest of the show about how good this looks.
Are you using another app so you can comment? Are you Sheldon the Rev 204?
I promise you that's not my burner account, but I may or may not have messaged him earlier today to make sure that he tuned into this.
Well, as long as you PayPal him his payoff. So
there you go.
There you go. Ronnie Starks is in the chat. Good to hear from you, Ronnie. Dakota, back to your point, sir. What was you going to say?
I don't know what he wanted me to talk about with Parkersburg, but as our quality goes up, theirs stays just as bad.
I mean, we kind of talked about it. RSW is going to be heading that direction.
Yes,
because, like you said, it wasn't just the whole point of going there one time, and then the situation with Dakota here with them. I mean, obviously, we're not going to do something about it. We're going to go over there. So there will be info on that as soon as possible. There's a couple buildings we're looking at. We're hearing about some other fairs and stuff. What's up, beer, sex, and motorcycles?
Kiss my ass, Ronnie Starks. Go ahead.
Ooh, Ronnie told you to shut up.
I know. See me, yeah. Ronnie.
How funny is it to get on somebody's podcast, their podcast, and then tell them to shut up?
It's almost like what they do for a living or something. It's wild.
I know, it's crazy. Ronnie, you crazy, Joe Rogan.
Crazy.
Oh, God, is someone's boot going to get
burned?
Oh, who knows?
Hopefully Spookies. I ain't got no boots.
Well, hey, speaking of burning.
Uh-oh.
To add on to the Parkersburg thing, I did some research today. They blocked me, but you ain't blocked everybody, I know. You never will. But the new flyer, I want you to zoom in. Somebody asked me, they said, how is it that when you bought the company, their flyers got better? That's a good example. Make sure you check it out. But if you zoom in on the titles, you'll see that they're blurred out in certain spots. That's because if those aren't changed, we're going to have a burn party with my new titles. So whoever in Parkersburg is watching this, and I mean this for a real shoot wrestling, I want my titles, or you can buy new ones and send me the old ones. So, it was in the cease and desist. It was in everything listed, and I suggest you get my name and my logo off of your title.
Woo!
They're just going to get new stickers. Will you just chill?
Well, some, no. I've done research. There's 2 of them that have them embedded in the plating.
Dakota knows. And yes, Sheldon, there will be more
Every
women's matches. We
title.
were talking about that about half the show. Go ahead, Dakota.
Yeah. So if that's the case, Parkersburg would be a great location to go ahead and hand me those belts, and we'll have ourselves a nice little how about a bonfire? Why not?
Dig it.
Now I gotta find this Facebook page.
Good luck. You probably got blocked too.
Yeah, there's ways around that. Tim's a smart guy. Hell, I figured it out on my own. I'll be looking at them. I check them out.
Oh, don't
Poor
be-
Jeremy Jones, man. Shout out to Tebow. They have tried to shut that man down every which way. I haven't seen such loyalty since Korea, to quote Jim Hurd.
No doubt. We're having fun, man. Chat, I appreciate all y'all tuning in, all the comments in the chat. I think we're having a good time here. Where do we go from here? I don't know. I had no game plan. I told these guys no game plan. Come whatever may, man. Tell your friends to hop on here. If you got a gripe, let us hear it. If you got a compliment, we'll take that as well. Suggestions, questions, erections, whatever you got. Let's see it. Will Spooky Lou be in a wrestling match? Sheldon wants to know. No, please no.
Of course.
Oh, of course. When's that happening?
Why not? Hey, listen, I know a place in Parkersburg you could be the main event.
Oh, well, yeah.
Oh, bro, that's so funny.
I'm telling you, Spooky Lou, man, the new Alphabet Soup heavyweight champion.
I mean, I'm out here making enemies left and right.
Bro, we just need to start a company called Alphabet Soup Wrestling.
Hey, make sure nobody trademarks that. I want that.
Well, hey.
Get that as soon as possible.
Well, I'm just letting it be known, WrestleRoni Worldwide Wrestling Federation belongs to me. Leave it alone, please.
WrestleRoni Worldwide Wrestling Federation.
For $50, you can own.
I'm sorry, but there's nothing funnier than when a company that runs in an area of what? How many people's in Parkersburg?
A lot. We saw them at our show, a lot.
No, I'm talking about population in general.
I'll get you a number real quick. Hang on.
And they call it a world title.
No, I got you. Okay.
Always going to be the funniest shit in the world to me.
So my wife, who is not historically not the world's biggest wrestling fan, she was a huge fan of them, but that's because she liked terrible wrestling. She said the same thing. She said, "How are you the world champion of a place that gets 30 people?" So.
And Ronnie, at least $5 wrestling is funny.
You want to know what's funny about $5 wrestling? $5 wrestling was using people that WVWE IOU was using on a real basis.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, like he's a good wrestler. You know, like they didn't get the gimmick of what $5 wrestling was.
Of course.
30,000 people.
How many?
30,000.
30,000.
I just pulled it up as of 2021. The estimate's 29,403 people, and you can get 30 people.
I mean,
It ain't the town.
130 is not a brag, I guess, in that sense. But at the same time, like first time being there, I think that's pretty good. And secondly, you know, they've been there for a while.
A good while.
Yeah. Running for a minute. They have one of our viewers blocked as well. They just checked. They're blocked too. They blocked everybody. How you gonna sell to the fans if you're blocking everybody, you idiots?
My advice is you can stay mad, just stay legal.
Yeah, and here's the difference, one of the many differences between us and them.
Sure.
Yeah, but one of the many differences between us and them, here we are live saying, come at us, let us know what's wrong, what's right. Come at us, let us know. And here these pussies are blocking people.
Would you stop saying come at us? I don't want nothing above come from anyone on me.
You know, I've been listening to Rockstar a lot lately, and or no, it was a Nerd. They did a lap dance, and he says, "I dare a motherfucker to come in my face." How is that hard? I don't know, man. I guess you got to be really hard to let a motherfucker come in your face.
I mean, with your wording right there, usually for it to come, it has to be hard, I guess.
There you go.
Is
I
that
don't know. I spent
Do you
some
got a
time
prayer
on that
cloth?
couch.
Do you have a prayer cloth?
No, it's I'm a giant grease ball because I sweat always. So I gotta look good. I mean, come on, I got a reputation to uphold.
Fancy.
I'm cold. That's why I got
Oh,
this.
I'm freezing right now, and I'm still just a grease ball
But you got a sweet coat on too. I mean,
because of JC Penney special, everybody.
AJ Evans is in the chat. AJ Evans worked for us at EIW. Tim, did you see AJ when he? You probably seen the kid. Have you seen AJ Evans? You know who I'm talking about.
did you just run out of breath?
Yeah, I didn't even talk that much. Like, my God.
I was waiting to hear him hit the floor. Like,
Yeah, I've noticed AJ. Um, you know, nothing against him. He's just somebody that needs some more reps. Um,
hmm
just needs the reps. And obviously, I understand, like, well, you could help with that and get the reps in. And I'm kind of thinking and working out a way to where we can work on helping younger guys get their reps in. So we'll definitely keep him on the radar because, he's reached out. And, no offense to him, but it's just, what I just said. It's just he needs some more reps. That's all.
Good kid. Good
And if we
kid.
get this other stuff taken care of and we can get him in here, that'd be great.
James, I haven't smoked all day, so thank you for that. And I am blown up from talking. You got me on that, Ronnie.
Yeah, get it. Sometimes you get worked up.
I'm all excited. I'm excited. I was excited for this. I knew it'd be good. We're having fun. What
I'm
else
not
we
gonna
got?
have to direct this interview from here on out. Like slow down, kid.
I don't know, man. I got nothing. Give us something, man. You got any questions, suggestions? We're running out of shit here, man. We still got a half hour to go. Dynamite's coming on. You guys like the pay-per-view? I thought the pay-per-view was pretty cool. You light somebody on fire with a flamethrower? I'm about it. Wrestling can be anything you want, Tim Cross.
If you don't stop talking like that, I'm done.
I'm miles away.
You need to calm down. I thought it was cool. They did a lot of stuff. I do believe that they should have. They blew a lot of nuts on stuff that they didn't have to. Some of that stuff should have been sent for Dynamite tonight. So,
Good point.
I don't think all of the things needed to happen on pay-per-view.
Yeah, good. For example, NXT last night. Who saw Ethan Page and Jordan Grace showing up, man? That was crazy.
In one evening, NXT becomes interesting to me. Now, don't get me wrong. There's talent on there, and there's good matches, and I go and watch it. But at the same time, like, boom, those last night, like that, bang. I don't think another, and this is no offense to anything, and I don't care what it is, but WWE needs another belt about as bad as AEW needs another belt. So, but I'm sure people would say that about RSW too. But I mean, the whole point of the Eastern Divine Belt, if I can, Eastern Divide, the Eastern Continent. Well, that's what it's based off of, is the Eastern Divide, for your history buffs out there.
Oh.
And your geographical area is basically Northeast. And, so that's where the title will be traveling. It won't be on the show all the time. It'll be a big deal when the person is around, So, it'll be cool to see. So, and plus, it's such a pretty belt. Everybody, we've had it for a while. We were going to premiere it earlier, and then out of nowhere, AEW puts out this Continental title. So, and God forbid I put that out at the same time, and then everybody's like, "Oh, you're copying them." It's like, nah, that's not what we're doing. We had this already actually planned. It's just coincidental. So just to not have to deal with that, I just basically waited until it was the right time. Because we are kind of getting to the point to where we're spreading out a little bit further, going different places. There's some talks about other places that we can be going to, different states. So, titles will be spread out. So
Okay. And to answer
People,
your question, Sheldon, do you have any advice for an up and coming referee? You got one of the best in the game, two of the best in the game in the chat. You got James Simpson and T Bone, so you guys are in there. Tell the guy how to be a good referee. I don't know. You know Tim. You know Dakota.
basically, Steve's in the chat too, and for
Yeah.
being as he is, man, a lot of that. There's two things that comes to being a good ref. If you've watched wrestling, that helps. If you know what I mean, like if you get what being a referee is, that's a big thing. People are just like, yeah, I can count to three, I can do this, I can do the thing. I want to get involved in wrestling, but at the same time, there's people that just know and get it, and also then allowing yourself to actually be the ref. There's a lot of people that play ref, and then there's people that are refs. It's in that concept of there's a lot of people actually in wrestling that play the role of being a wrestler, and then there's actual wrestlers. Um, like the best way to explain it is that company that we're talking about. They they play what it is they're supposed to what they think they're supposed to see on TV
Yep.
that 8 hours in that building that day. But the people that we bring around like look like what you see on TV to the extent of gear. The training, is a big one, and having sense when it comes to character, and who you are as a wrestler. Those are big three things, and that's the whole concept of you know playing a part and actually being something.
And I forgot Ronnie was a ref as well. And I will say, Ronnie, yes, you are very well rounded. So, very good. Just in case in the chat, I can tell you I have been a part of a lawsuit from a wrestler breaking his neck during a match in a move he botched. And believe me, they called in everyone, including the building owner. Just in case has lived through it.
Yeah, yeah, he has actually lived through it. Actually, I know exactly who he's talking about, and I'm not a big fan of this person either. I have a story where some people took advantage of the situation, and this individual was one of those people. So I'm not going to go into it just because it doesn't make any difference now in any way, shape, or form. It's just you got to be careful. You got to watch what you're doing. It's crazy though that these people don't check. These people don't know. Like I know where my people come from.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter where. It's like I know the school they went to, or I know who they worked under. Like there's people that give me the yay or nay in some way, shape, or form that I trust before anybody comes in. Uh, you know, so um, I, I just don't know where these people are going, and all of a sudden they're just wrestlers every 2 weeks, a month, um, in Parkersburg, and who where are they training with? They're training with a guy that hasn't got new gear in over 25 years. He just cuts the side of his gear and cuts the side of his gear so he fits it. Like I wish I was joking. I would love to be telling a joke.
He's not, folks. He is not.
I don't get it. I don't understand it. If you're gonna do it, why not do it at the best of your ability?
Yeah.
That's how I am. So that's how I take everything.
That's so.
If you care about it, why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Somebody explained it to me like, is this a hobby or is this your dream? If not, why would you not put in all of the steps possible to make it as far as you can? I don't understand the logic of it. And there are people that they want to wrestle in their state and that's it. Okay, that's fine. Why would you not want to be as good as you possibly can and training as hard as you can with the best people in the state? Why and getting gear from reputable people instead of making it yourself at home and just tying it together and then the stuff doesn't fit right. We've all seen that. Why would you not want to take those steps to be the best? I even in my little roles in wrestling that I have, I do the best of my ability in everything that I do. If it's setting up stuff, if it's tearing it down, if it's trying to contact people about getting information, whatever it is, you have to put the work in. This isn't just a hobby. We want this to be successful, and it's not going to happen if you don't put that work in.
Dakota, what else are you seeing besides the Parkersburg idiots? As far as the state, what are you seeing that you're not too happy with that needs to change? You don't have to name any names. You can. I don't give a shit. But what don't you like at the moment?
Tim's poncho for starters.
No, no one pays their taxes.
So that's the
No one.
There are two things. Okay, we'll go three. And this is advice for anybody that's in promoting from a guy that just bought letters and doesn't really promote, but has a very good business sense. Get a business license. Get either insurance, a waiver of liability for everybody, or both that covers you legally, and pay your taxes and do your paperwork. It is not hard. I promise you, it is well worth the $25 fee that you pay a year, or the $30, $130 that you pay a year, to make sure that you are covered in the event that, God forbid, somebody gets dumped on their head, a fan jumps in the ring and you've got a lawsuit on your hands, or something happens to the building that you're in, whatever it is. Make sure you're covered and make sure you're legal. That way the state and the town doesn't come in and take over. With the situation I was dealing with, I'll let everybody in on a secret. The original plan was to handle it our way, and I spoke with some people, and I got some word from other people in much bigger positions than I will ever hold in my life that said you have to do this now. This is a huge liability, and that's why I take this so seriously. People's lives are on the line with stuff like this. This isn't. Tim said yesterday, it's not ballet. We were talking about somebody that had been recently injured. Through no fault of their own, it happens. Why not have everything taken care of to when something like that happens? You're fine.
Do you think they'll straighten up?
What's that?
Do you think they'll make an effort, 1% of an effort in Parkersburg?
No.
No?
Of course
Okay.
not.
I would love to.
What do you think?
Right. Dumb question.
I wish. I wish. I pray that, somebody wakes up one morning and says, you know what, I have done this wrong for a long time, and it's time to stop. And I hope that happens instead of somebody getting severely injured or killed.
Okay, so not to interrupt, but Sheldon the ref just asked, have you ever had fans jump in the ring at an RSW show? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a whole thing. It's a whole story. It's been told a couple times from different people. Basically, a guy decided he thought he was tough enough to take on the roster that was in the ring. And he decided to get in the ring. And basically the whole roster said, no, that's a bad idea. But they didn't say it with their words. They said it with their hands and their feet. And he basically learned that day that trying to get in the ring is a bad idea. It became a bigger thing, but, we can announce it now that this happened in Fairview, and they are actually having us back this year for the 4th of July. So from 5 to 6:30, we will be in Fairview, West Virginia, for what's going to be one of the funner shows of the year, probably.
No doubt. Also Monongah that day, right?
Yeah, we are in Monongah that day at 8 until basically the fireworks. So
double shot, baby. And also, besides that incident, I recently saw a video of a bunch of fans on the ring and old Sean Pugh going off on them. That was pretty funny.
That was okay.
Ooh.
So that day, something had been discussed to me from Chance, and he went out there and did it. Well, nothing had been said to anybody else, and basically, That's a honest reaction.
Okay.
Uh,
He was pissed.
oh yeah, oh yeah, yeah. So, but unfortunately, I hate to say it, it was very, it was a very fun situation to witness.
Oh, the video's great. Yeah, I love it.
So, but I'm gonna need everybody to get down
Get the fuck down!
from the ring right now. I'm like,
Oh,
yeah,
what
get
a
that attack.
life.
Oh yeah. That's another guy. He's from West Virginia, but he's been in North Carolina for 5-6 years now. Chance Riser, man, he's a good one. I think he's one of those guys that went to go push himself, so he got out of the state, and went to North Carolina and been kicking ass. So good on him.
Ooh, I'm glad you said that. The Carolinas. I want to bring up a subject. I'll ask you two your opinions. I'm pretty sure you've seen it. My good friend Stephen Meeks, sweetest dude in the world. How you gonna rip off Stephen Meeks, whoever you are? Forget your shitty name, but you're a shitty person. I don't care if you didn't have your Gatorade and had to go to the hospital. Pay Stephen Meeks.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. As a promoter, there are crazy, weird situations that happen. I get it. It's
Okay,
happened to me.
okay. Let's
Um,
say you go to the hospital, Tim.
but at the end of the day, that's the reason why I'm not on my own show or anything. That's the reason why I don't think that if you handle the situation on day of, you need to have somebody else handling it,
Yeah.
because first of all, why even put the stress on yourself?
Mm-hmm.
So uh, it's just, don't put yourself in that situation.
Dakota?
Plain and simple.
You had said you give the example of Tim going to the hospital or something like that. As the guy that assists with the finances and stuff like that for RSW a little bit, like as far as the numbers and making sure everybody gets paid and all that. There's like a checks and balances type of system, as well as we all know what to do. Um,
Yeah.
if something, God forbid, happened to Tim during a show, or he had an emergency he had to go do, we would know what to do, because we would have the common sense to say we're taking care of this, so everybody is taken care of. So you don't have that situation. Um, it just doesn't make sense. If you don't have the money before you started that show, you probably need to rethink how you're doing some of this stuff. If you are relying on just the house to pay your guys, we should probably maybe just wait a little and save some money.
We, I mean, from what I understand, that was that company's first show.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So like, there's part of me that understands that. Like, they just don't get it. You know what I mean?
Sure.
I understand that, but at the same time, there needs to be an understanding of how it should be handled. Um, Keep in contact. If you can't do it, let somebody know to do it. If it's a situation of like a real emergency and you're like, out of it, and you're not able to comprehend what's going on, that's a little bit different. But what I understand is it was dehydrated. So he could have texted someone to been like, "Hey man, handle this situation." Like, there's so many situations that could be explained for it not to get to how it did. There's so many ways things could be handled the way you don't have to for it to get to that point.
Yeah.
So, and what's crazy, and it's just in today, it's probably 100% not worth the situation he's dealing with now to not pay him. You know
Right.
what I mean?
Yep.
But, and from what I understand and what I see, like, they didn't pay his girlfriend either.
Right. Yeah, a few people didn't get paid. while his wallet was there, and I'm sure he had a friend there that could get his wallet and pay the boys if he really wanted to pay them, or, okay, I'm out of the hospital.
Didn't they flip the script and say that he stole the wallet or something?
He made a joke, or I wasn't there, but it's my understanding that he made a comment, well, I know where his wallet is. Okay, so he made the comment, I know where his wallet is. He didn't go and take his cut. He knew where it was.
Yeah.
The wallet must have been dehydrated too.
Probably. Sheldon brings up Mason Dixon wrestling. What? Anybody want to say anything about Mason Dixon wrestling? I have fond memories. That's what I grew up on around here.
I feel like that one's going to probably be a Tim. I wasn't around, unfortunately.
That holds a lot of, when I was younger, I really didn't follow along with the whole concept of who owned what and managers and stuff. It was just wrestling, and I just liked watching it.
Mm-hmm.
As I got older, I remembered who I kind of saw and who was on it. So, to me, in this area, the stuff I saw was Mason Dixon. More often than not, I saw a couple other people like Arpin and them come around, but it was more Mason Dixon more than anything else. And I've actually had people involved with them come up to me and say, you're doing basically like we were, back when we were running, and it's good. We love to see that. You're doing good and all that, and and we're actually getting praised for getting some of the areas that they couldn't get to pop off when they ran, that we're getting reactions from. So as a whole, it's been a plus to be able to talk to the individuals that were involved with Mason Dixon Wrestling, be it talent or the owner, or just in case. He was involved for a long time. In fact, I think he still owns the rights to that. I think his taxes are paid, I believe, Dakota.
I'll be.
That's unfortunate, because that's a name that carries a lot of weight still.
Yeah, still gets brought up in this area because of what it is. Something that's funny is we actually ended up with their steps. They got kind of grandfathered down. We have those now. And the owner of Mason Dixon actually came to a show and saw them. He goes, I remember that ugly carpet. And he goes, those are my old steps. So that was a cool little moment. And there's people that's on our roster that's helping out with our crew that remembers growing up with that stuff. And for them, it's really cool to be in the position that we are now, basically being the new age of what that was to them growing up, basically.
Oh yeah, that's for sure. We're in the final 15 minutes, fellas. To the folks watching, man, this is your chance. Let us know what you want to see on the channel. Let us know what you want to see in RSW. Suggestions, complaints. Now is your time, man. Let us know. Let us hear.
Have me even less than that, because I got 10% on my phone, and when this bad boy dies, I'm done.
So we're worrying about my batteries dying, and it's hip toss Tim Cross gonna die.
Wait a minute. I'm not a production guy here. I'm not a cameraman. I'm not a podcast.
I know.
When my batteries die, it's because I didn't properly plan.
Yeah, fair enough. We're glad to have you. We appreciate you joining us, Tim Cross. It's a rare appearance. I think it's second time for both y'all on the channel.
No,
Tim's been on here a few times. He's been on with a few crazy ones before. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I think it's his third.
Oh, well, see, what do I know? Real professional, Lou.
All right, I don't know who this Sheldon the Ref 204 is, but I want to see Tim Cross in a wrestling match. Well, bud, you can find me on YouTube somewhere, because it's not going to be.
Well, give him something to work with. What was your name back then?
What he just said? What do you think I am?
Oh, it was Hip Toss Tim Cross?
No, I'm Tim, just the Dynasty Tim Cross.
The Dynasty.
The
Why not hip toss
dynasty.
Tim Cross?
Well, first of all, Jock Sampson probably has that trademarked because he's a smart businessman. Um, but it is what it is. Jake, I got to be honest with you. I do want to see a King of Real Shoot Wrestling tournament, but I just don't see the point of doing a King of Real Shoot Wrestling. I think your champion is the king of your company, basically. I would like to see a King of West Virginia tournament. I think
Ooh.
it'd be cool if some companies could work together and just have a fun, good day of wrestling instead of being so worried about self ego and allowing something like that to happen. I think that'd be cool.
In a perfect world.
Yeah.
Kid Cupid was one of MDW's last champions, never defeated. Don't recognize the name, but he must have been all right. Hell, Justin Case was a WVWE champion. Still
They
is.
Never beaten.
UA
Oh, okay. Yeah, WVWA. Yeah.
Never
when they
beaten.
when they were fancy.
They're not so fancy anymore, huh?
They had Johnny Hard.
Who?
Johnny Hard.
That's a name.
I barely know Johnny, so that wasn't me.
Johnny Semi.
Can
Johnny.
I ask you a question, Spooky Lou?
Do what?
Can I ask you a question, Lou?
Okay.
Ooh.
So no, so I have just one more before we get to the closing parts of this. You had mentioned like what you wanted. This is an actual question. You had mentioned like what we wanted to see out of RSW this summer or out of the state of West Virginia. What do you? I mean, you're the guy that's got as much media footage of what's going on in the state as anybody. What are you looking forward to in the summer?
Man, I just know everything's stacked, man. Like, we've got so many shows, you don't know what to expect anymore. You think you know what you're walking into, and Tim's always going to have some surprise for you. So I don't know what to expect. What I would like to see, let's make some new stars, as we have been. We've been doing a damn good job of that. Just mix it up, man. Just get the best of the best in there and have them mix it up, and let's have some good matches.
I think that is something that I do I will take a little bit of praise for in that situation of like when it comes to West Virginia and homegrown talent. I honestly don't think there's anyone using more homegrown talent than us
Yeah.
in the sense of West Virginia guys. I mean, yeah, they might move here, they might move there, but as West Virginia guys, I think we're one of the biggest.
I will not be in Beckley Saturday. It's been a while since I've been invited to Beckley for whatever reason, so I'll see you when I see you.
I think he's talking about the Bash at Beckley from ASW.
Oh, okay. Yeah, nah, I won't be there. But it looks like a great card, and I hope everybody has fun.
A lot of cool names on there.
No
Oh, for
doubt.
sure, definitely.
I'd like to get some autographs.
Let's go up.
Same, actually.
I will say, my good friend Bill Alfonso also messaged me and wanted to know if I'd be at the show, and I'd say I'm sorry. And he said, it's okay, Daddy Derek. That's what he calls me, Tim. Bill Alfonso calls me Daddy Derek. Yeah, I ain't ashamed. I ain't embarrassed. I might embarrass you. I don't embarrass me.
Well, good job, bro. Good job.
We got 9 minutes. Let's hear some questions, suggestions.
You're really trying hard to get this to 8 o'clock, aren't we?
Hey, man, I think we've done a good job. I think we're plugging along. 41 views already. That ain't bad, fellas.
We got to plug our stuff. We have forgotten about that so far.
Yeah, plug
I
away.
mean, for a month's worth of shows would take 3 hours the way that we're booking.
As of right now, we got June 1st. We're at a con from 11 to 4 in Buchanan. June 2nd at 1 o'clock, we are in Nutter Fort with the Cartoon Headquarters Family Extravaganza.
That's gonna be awesome, by the way.
We are June 8th up at Skeeter Moe's for Mayhem on the Mountain 3.
Mm.
The main event is MV Young with the internet title versus Matt Taylor. And
He's finally going to defend that thing, huh?
we will be having some proving ground matches with some new young talent in the area. MV Young has decided to defend it. So, I picked someone that I think is worthy of a title shot, and Matt Taylor is more than worthy of being known in West Virginia, PA, and Ohio, and of course, other places out in the Midwest. So, and like I said, some proving ground matches, so there'll be some young talent on that show. June 15th, we're back in Grafton. Like I said, the rematch between Sin and Max is happening. A stipulation is being discussed now for that match. So keep tuned to our social media page on Facebook for the results of that. The main event of that show will be Jeff Paul versus Dustin Alexander for the RSW title. Then June 15th, not June 22nd, we are back in Buchanan at the K Lounge. There's some talks about what we could do for a main event in that situation. I can't really talk about it at this time. And then to close out the month of June, we have two events in the same day. In Stonewood, West Virginia, we have an actual whole show. Bring your family, all the fun stuff. And then we have that evening our first RSW bar fights, where there will be two matches involved inside of a bar. So no ring or anything like that. It's just fisticuffs in a bar.
I like it.
For the Michael Roberts benefit show. So if you can make it out to that, that'd be great too.
Okay.
So yeah, just keep up with our keep up on our social media, Facebook Live, Facebook.com/RSW Live, all that fun stuff at RSW Live on Instagram and X or Twitter or whatever you call it now. There are some questions if you want to.
Yeah, you see him. Sheldon wants to see Rob Stardom in RSW, Canadian superstar. Jack Clark wants to know when we're going to have a cage match in RSW. What's up, Tim?
We've had two cage matches already. We had Benny Connolly versus TJ Phillips in Cleveland, Ohio. That was a very good match. And then we had the Good Guys, which consisted of Frat Daddy, Tristan Saint, and Zach Myers. The Good Guys, I don't know if a lot of people remember them. They were around for the pandemic time that we were running versus Mount Kilpis in a cage. So we've had two. There have been some talks about some cage matches in the future, but it's not something that we want to rely upon to settle a score. But when it is time for that type of situation, we'll do what we got to do.
I dig it. Well, this is your last chance, folks. Get them in, because I tell you what, I ain't missing Dynamite tonight. I mean, I would if things were on and popping, but we're kind of coming to a nice little steady end here. So, Dakota, you got anything you want to add?
As James the Ref said, it is getting Johnny Flaccid in here.
Yeah, getting a little flaccid. We've had our moments.
Are there any other questions? Anything else we need to add?
I'll give them 10 seconds. 10 seconds to get your question in, and if not, we're going to wrap it up.
I have one for Dakota, actually.
Okay.
Oh, God.
So how's it feel now that you've went out there and thrown out some letters, and now you have people bugging you for a booking.
So you told me, you said it's all fun and games until your inbox just never stops.
Yep.
From the minute we put that announcement out there, I got probably 50 friend requests of everybody that's ever wanted to be in wrestling. Hit me up. Some names that actually kind of surprised me, that wanted to send over references. Some people that are just looking for an opportunity to show what they've got. And I've had to very, nicely say, hey, this is still all kind of in the works. I'm the letter buyer, if we haven't figured that out yet. So it's going to take time. I don't go into things without a plan. And I think everything out about 100 times before I ever make a decision. And that's an autistic superpower that I have. But I appreciate all of the people asking. I look forward to hopefully working with as many of you as I can in the future. But for now, just give it time. Give it time.
Oh,
I promise
man.
there will be an opportunity there.
I've been in your spot, bub. Back when I was running EIW, believe me, I was getting those messages. I was getting them left and right, and some folks will try to trick you, so you be careful.
Have gear, will travel.
Do your research. Do your research. Trust no one.
Mm-hmm.
No
Try to
doubt.
make it.
I think that's about all we got, fellas. I appreciate you guys joining us. I appreciate everybody's questions, comments, all that good stuff. Tim, before we go, you got anything left to say, Bubby?
Just go check out RSW on all your social media platforms. Check out Russell Roney for matches. Check out Pile Driver Podcast out of Ohio. They cover a lot of Real Shoot Wrestling stuff that we do in Ohio. So, just because wrestling is for everybody doesn't mean everybody needs to be a wrestler.
Oh, put that on a t-shirt. I like it.
Trademark it before somebody else does.
So, and it's pretty clear that Dakota is still, he's still RSW, and anything that happens, will be discussed. Hopefully, since I'm his mentor per se, that he will discuss things with me first. So, we'll see. We'll see where it goes. There's no reason why, some type of young talent program can't be set up through there.
No doubt. Hell, I like it.
To get those reps in,
Get the reps in. Dakota, we got a minute left. What do you have to add, sir?
You hit me up. It's 8 o'clock, so I feel like it's comfortable time to ask this because we're going to wrap this up, I'm sure, here in the next few minutes. You posed a proposition to me a few days ago. And I think I'd like to take you up on that. And so this is going to be my formal invitation, my formal offer. I would like to buy EIW from you.
Hey, man.
Well,
all right, it's getting a little crazy. Like, yeah. You need to calm down. You just spent a couple of... And
that's all the time we have. I'll be in touch, Dakota. I'll be talking to you. Tim, I love you. I promise I do. And we're out of here.
We could talk. We could talk.
Yeah, I love you. I love you both a lot.